What's going on, everybody? KSA Kris here. Real Estate Blitz. Wanted to talk through wholetailing. So if you've been watching this, I'm going to do a series of 2 each time. But last time I talked about wholesaling and what wholesaling was and kind of gave you some direction on what to listen to and what to look at. And today I'm going to talk about wholetailing. Now, if you haven't noticed, a lot of the stuff that I'm talking about, it's, you know, if you're looking to become an investor, it should be helping you. Or if you're a real estate agent, and that's kind of the key as well. If you're a real estate agent, you know, we hear it all the time. Well, I work with investors. Look, if you don't know what's going on in the investor world and you're not an investor yourself, you need to educate yourself. So I'm hoping by putting out some of this stuff, it's going to help you out a little bit. So wholetailing. So I get it all the time, like, wholetailing, what is that? Well, we already talked about wholesaling, right? So we know what a wholesale property is. I'm basically going in, I'm finding a property, somebody that's in need, whatever it is. They want to basically trade, they're trading equity for ease of transaction, right? So I'm going to give up a portion of my equity that's in my home. I could sell it for 100% on the market for its total value. Or I could sell it to somebody that's a cash investor that's going to buy it. Of course, they're not going to pay its retail value, but you get an ease of transaction. They're going to basically take it in its as-is condition. They're going to take it with no inspections. You're not going to be paying any type of real estate commissions. You're not paying closing costs, and you're able to walk away in anywhere from 3 to 10 days or close on the day of your choosing. And that's pretty much what wholesaling is. Somebody's picking up that property, they're turning around and usually doing a paper flip for a small portion of the actual profits that are going to be made off that property. Wholetailing is a bit different. It's basically picking up a property at a wholesale value, but you're going to turn around and sell it retail. So you're not selling a small portion of the profit. So you have to understand that. A wholesaler is taking the paper and he's selling the opportunity to purchase that home in cash to another investor. He took care of the contract. He went out, he found the deal, he locked up the deal, he has the contract to actually purchase the deal, and he has the terms that he's looking for. Then he goes to another investor and says, look, I got this deal. If you pay me $10,000, whatever, $2,000, $20,000, we usually would only do that on $20,000 terms. You give me $20,000, I will give you this contract so you can perform on it and have a great deal to renovate and sell to make a better profit. But in return, you're getting a very small portion of that total profit. So it's basically locking up the property under a contract and actually performing. And so as a wholesaler, what a lot of wholesalers will do is that they purchase the property from its after repair value, the ARV. They're purchasing it from ARV. And if you want to know the math, there's plenty of places where you can look at the math. If you go and look at the stuff that I've already posted before over the last couple days, you're going to see michaelquarles.com has a ton of great information. He's a wonderful guy as well. And he's actually the guy, I remember I talked to him on the cell phone years ago. I talked to him on the phone, and he asked me, he says, what do you think wholesaling is? And I told him what I thought my version was, basically what I just told you. I'm picking it up and I'm making a profit. He says, okay, let me tell you what my version of wholesaling is. You're basically doing a whole lot of work to get a very, very small piece of the total profit that's going to be made off of that property. And he had a good point. So the difference between wholetailing and wholesaling is that I'm not going to give away that piece. Instead of buying at ARV, the after repair value, after it's been renovated, I'm going to be looking to try to purchase from its as-is value to begin with. So I'm going to use the same math, but I'm going to say, look, your house right now is only worth X dollars, and it's as-is condition. And I'm going to basically look to purchase the property at a place to where I literally can go right outside of that house and put a sign in the front yard and list it on the MLS with a real estate agent, or if you're a real estate agent, you list it yourself. So I just gave you gold. If you're a real estate agent, I just gave you gold. You have somebody that comes to you and they say, this is where I'm at. And you can tell them, here's the options and opportunities. Put it on the market. This is what I think it could get. Here's how long it's going to sit. And here's how it's going to work out. Or, you know what, if you just really are looking for ease of transaction. I actually had this happen. I had a deal. I think I even mentioned it in a previous video. I told the guy, I says, look, if we list it, we can list it for $350,000 right now. It'll be sold in 12 hours, man. And he says, okay, well, how long are we going to be in escrow? 30 days. 30 days, they'll close on it, maybe 45 days at the most with TRID and everything that came into play. And you're going to get $350,000 as total gross, and then, of course, you have your fees and everything. He says, look, I only want $250,000. I want to close in 10 days. It's important to me that I'm gone in 10 days. I want to be on the road heading to Arkansas in 10 days. Can you sell it at $350 in 10 days? I says, no, I can't do that. He says, well, what can you give me? I says, well, I can get, if you're looking for $250,000, which is a $100,000 difference, I can get you going in 10 days. Now, that would have been a perfect wholesale opportunity. I basically look to purchase it as the real estate agent. I write my own, offer. I give it to him. It says, I'm going to purchase your home at $250,000. I'm going to close in 10 days. I'm going to be using, hard money, whatever it is that I'm using, private money. And, we're not paying any real estate fees. I'm going to take it in its as-is condition and no inspections. Are you good with that? Or I say, you know what, I'm going to close in 10 days, but I want 7-day contingent. I want, 7 days for my contingency so I can bring in a contractor and get it inspected. And usually they'll be fine with that as well. Put down your deposit, go into escrow, everything's good. Then I go outside, I write it in, I would write it into the contract and say, look, from the moment that you agree to this, I'm going to be closing in 10 days and you're getting cash. I'm going to put a sign and I'm going to put this thing up for sale. What? You can do that? Yes, you can do that. Look, he doesn't want to wait. He doesn't want to wait. He just wants his money. I'm willing to wait the 30 days. I know it's going to be sold in 12 hours. So I'm going to turn around and sell it for the full juice. I'm going to basically close on that property in 10 days at $250,000. I'll even get hard money for it. I'm going to turn around. I'm going to put a sign out there as soon as I possibly can, even while I'm still in escrow on my own, right? And I'm going to get somebody that's going to come in and write an offer in 12 hours, and I'm going to close 10 days, and then I'm going to turn right around and I'm going to close in 30 days for a $100,000 gross profit. Think about that. Now, if you wholesale that property, and I'll tell you, that's pretty much, well, we didn't, yeah, we did. We kind of wholesaled it, depending on how you view the world. A different angle, and that's probably a discussion for another time. I went to an investor friend of mine. I says, this is what I want. We want to list the property on the back end, and I'm also going to create a fee on that listing. So you're going to pay me that fee, which is the wholesale. So it's like $10,000 plus my listing. Now, would I have made more money if I wholetailed that property? The answer is yes. Why we didn't, I don't know. I mean, looking back, it was a while back, and I don't know. I mean, I regret not wholetailing that. But that's basically what you're doing. You're picking it up at a wholesale price. You're buying it from its as-is value, and you're negotiating a price that's fair to them. It's ease of transaction for them. And they're giving away equity, and you're basically putting it back on the market at retail value. I have another one that we did here in Fallbrook. Wonderful lady. She actually came up to me in the gym. I'm in the gym, working out. She says, "I hear you buy houses." I was like, "I sure do. You looking to sell one?" She says, "I sure am. My husband passed away, and I can't be in the house anymore. I need to get gone. I want it gone." I says, "Okay, have you considered listing it and selling it? Because we could help you list and sell it." She says, "Yeah, I did. It was on the market for about a month, and I just want out. I canceled it. Here's basically what happened. I have this property issue with my neighbor, and I just don't want to deal with it anymore. I just want to walk away." I says, "Okay, well, what does walk away look like? How much did you have it listed for?" Well, she had it listed for, let me see if I can remember the numbers. This was a great wholesale deal. I think she had it listed for $480-something thousand, if I remember right. It was like either $478 or $487, one or the other. She had it listed for that. And I says, "Okay, great. Well, I'm going to be coming in. We're paying cash. We're going to take it as is condition. No, closing costs. We're going to cover that. No inspections. And you're not having to pay any realtor fees or anything else like that. You understand, right?" And she says, "Yes." It says, "Now, with everything that I just said, can you do better than what you had it listed for?" "Well, I was kind of hoping to get a lot of money." I says, I'm sure you were. But yeah, look, if I bought it, and I'll even do the math. Let's say it was $478. If I bought it, let me use my phone because the phone's better. If I bought it at $478,000 on the retail market, right? Let's just say, without getting fancy, you figure real estate commissions are going to be 6%. There's going to be inspections. There's going to be a request for repairs. There's going to be closing costs. So let's say we're out 8%. Usually it's anywhere from 8 to 10%. So $479, right, minus 8%. That puts us at $440,000. If I did 470, did I say 479? Yeah, we're going to go 479. That's fine. Minus 10%. That's going to put us at $431,000. So I says, "I'll tell you what. I can't buy a property retail. I can't buy a property retail. I think she had undervalued her home to begin with, and she knew she did. She says, "Look, I was just trying. That was the get it sold price. That property, was actually worth, well into the fives. I think it was worth about $100,000 over what she listed it for. If I remember right, it was like 580. It was worth 580. We ended up listing it and selling it for 570, but it was worth 580. And so she was already $100,000 deep. But I says, if I bought it retail from where you originally listed it, we're at about $430,000. I have to have some equity into the home. So I'll tell you what, I can close and get you out of there so you don't have to walk through the house anymore and have these memories. And she just wanted to get, she says, look, I just want to get, what I was going to get. If I was going to get 430, and I says, but you got this other thing. I don't know how much work, how long I'm going to sit on this home or deal with this issue with your neighbor, with the lien that's been put out on the property or the easement issue that was going on. So, it took you how long to fix it? And she says, well, I've been working on it the last year. I says, all right, I tell you what, I will give you I'll give you $400,000. I'll do paperwork tonight, $400,000 as is. If you're good with that, then that would work for me. She said that would change my world. She didn't have to deal with her neighbor and the easement issues and dealing with him. She didn't have to deal with walking through the home and seeing her husband every day. She didn't have to deal with trying to put it on the market and sell it. She didn't have to deal with the repairs. She didn't have to deal with inspections. She didn't have to deal with a real estate agent who was basically taking her for a ride. She just gets her $400,000. It was free and clear. She walks away and she goes and does what she wants. I went down the street, knocked on the neighbor's door, talked to him and says, hey man, I heard about this. What's going on? He says, look, I'm just trying to build my thing here. This is what the easement says. And she believes that it's needed in order to drive through RVs and everything, but this is how it's built. And I went down and looked at it. It says, I love what you're doing with the wall and everything, man. Do you think if you built it a little bit this way, it would look a lot better? It would look great for our property. It would look great for your property. Would that work? He says, yeah. I says, now if we did that, could you write some paperwork for me that says we're good? He says, yeah. I fixed that thing in less than a half hour. I just went down and talked to the guy. We didn't have any problems. He just didn't like her and she didn't like him. We turned around and put a sign out front, and we listed it for $570. Ended up selling for like $560, I think. It was like $10,000 less. And we didn't even sweep it out. I don't even think we cleaned the property. We didn't even clean it. I don't even remember what the property looked like inside, to be honest with you. It didn't matter. We basically put it back on the market and sold it for its retail price. Its retail price. It was worth, after repair, now this is the beauty, after repairs it was worth $700 and something if it was renovated. And it was actually an investor that turned around and came in and bought the property in its as-is condition. So did I make more money on that deal than if I would have wholesaled it? I could have wholesaled it and I could have made, maybe $20,000, $30,000. I probably could have tried to push it, but why? Just list it myself. Maximize the amount of value for its as-is condition. That, my friends, is wholetailing. If you want to learn more about wholetailing, I tell you that in my opinion, my personal opinion, the guru that's on it, that knows what he's doing, it's Michael Quarles. I posted up one of his audios on the Real Estate Blitz yesterday. And, Michael's a fantastic dude. He's really approachable, really easygoing. He owns yellowletters.com. He has a podcast. He has a coaching program. I was actually on his coaching program years ago. The dude's fantastic. I would say go check out Michael Quarles, see what he's got for you. And if you want to learn wholetailing, if you want to learn about creative financing, that's what you need to be listening to. He's got a fantastic podcast and tons of great information and blogs online. So that's what I got today for wholetailing. I'm probably going to deviate away from investor stuff for a few days so I can start getting back to your basic retail, residential type real estate. And then I think everybody went gangbusters on... I don't remember what it was. I think it was something I was going to start talking about every week. I'll look through my thing and I'll look at that. But I'm going to make sure I kind of stay consistent and keep giving you guys stuff. If you show interest in it and you want to know more about it, I'll keep posting it up. I'll keep doing what I do. Also looking forward to, social media. That's what it was. Social media once a week. I'm still trying to get, I'm going to get Francisco Martinez. If he's watching this, I'm calling you out again. I'm going to get him to come over here and sit down right here and let you listen to an expert that talks about social media. So do me a favor, like, share, comment. Make sure you pass this out to people. Let people know about the Real Estate Blitz. And as always, I appreciate you, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right? Have a good one.